you so much for coming. I'm going to be honest. I was going to wear a nicer jacket, but I lost it in an NBA poker game. That being said, it means a lot to look at the crowd and realize the Mafia is not the only one with a full house. So there you go. Welcome to Fox News Saturday night. There you go. Nice to see you. There you go. So we got a hot show coming up. Dig this. The superstar host of America Reports, Sandra Smith, is in the building. Hot damn. I love Sandra Smith, but she is way too classy for this program. Can we be honest for a minute here? Like, seriously, if TV shows are cruise ships, America Reports is like that amazing Royal Caribbean boat with the giant water park and the five-star restaurants. This show's like the inflatable raft the Somali pirates pull up on in Captain Phillips. I'm not ashamed, but let's be honest. Like, Fox puts out all this top-shelf content, #1 in the ratings. Like, it's really smooth sailing all week long. Then at 10 o'clock, I show up, and I'm like, I am the captain now, you know? But Sandra was a track star at LSU, so this is the perfect time to have her on because the New York City Marathon's coming up next week. That's kind of a big deal. It's also the most confusing time of the year for New Yorkers because when you walk the streets at night, we can't tell who's training for the marathon and who's just getting chased, you know? Like, I'm not sure if I should high-five them or start running too, you know? But I bring up crime because this NBA gambling scandal caught the entire world by surprise. Like, it seems like just yesterday that if somebody needed extra cash, they'd rob a French museum, you know? And it was, like, just yesterday. And if we're being honest about that story, like, people weren't shocked that the French couldn't protect their crown jewels from thieves because it's the same country that couldn't protect its president from their wives, okay? Watch it again. There's their shot in the face. Not good. Not good. Not good. Point being, it's not hard for a country to lose its jewelry once their president loses his balls, you know? But for my money, the best part of the NBA gambling scandal is that ESPN was literally covering it with an ad for a gambling website on the bottom of the screen. Like, imagine you're watching the OJ chase and there's an ad for the new Ford Bronco, you know? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Goes from 0 to murder in 4 seconds. Come on. And I can tell that joke because I own a white Bronco. I really do. True story. My wife has never behaved better. Never. No. Stop it. But just take a look. I want to show you a picture, just a picture for 2 seconds. Notice the bottom right corner of the screen. See it circled down the bottom there? ESPN bet in the middle of a gambling scandal. This is like someone leading your intervention with a bottle of scotch in their hand, you know? No, I'm going to defend ESPN on one front, okay? Because that gambling ad is not the worst thing a network has run during very serious news coverage. I'm going to show you a CNN clip. It's the Ukrainian war right at the beginning. Tell me if something looks a little out of place after the air raid sirens start going off. Watch this.
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right.
Yo! Applebee's new mozzarella sticks are the bomb, you know? Like, that was real, okay? And everybody who saw that ad run on CNN in the middle of the Ukrainian war was so confused. Because when they saw the guy sitting in sweatpants at the bar, they thought it was Zelensky, you know? Like, what's he doing there? But Stephen A. Smith did the most CNN thing imaginable and tried blaming the whole entire scandal, all of the arrests, on President Trump. Watch this. This is amazing.
How many times, for one incident after another, have I said Trump is coming? Anybody that has been around him, anybody that has talked to him, anybody that has seen his reactions from the sports leagues and the positions that people have taken, they are not surprised at what's going on today.
But I think, actually, I know, but I think President Trump summed it up the best.
He is so full of shit, this guy.
Like, I get that Stephen A. Smith's in a pickle because he's the highest paid NBA analyst in the world, and this looks terrible for the league that ESPN is covering. But if we're being honest, guys, Stephen A. Smith blaming Trump for finishing off a gambling ring is like Katie Porter blaming Melania for finishing off a pizza, you know? Like, nobody believes you, you know what I mean? And you know he never would have tried to pull that old blame the president trick if Kamala won because she's a Democrat. Plus, you can't really accuse Kamala of fixing a poker game because Kamala's so dumb she thinks a royal flush is when King Charles takes a dump, you know? Although, to be fair, her husband, Doug, was known for playing strip poker with the nanny. So there's that. Yeah, according to those divorce papers, he got an inside straight. So, Saturday night. But I bring up Kamala because if you ask the Democrat Party, the biggest scandal of the week was not the NBA gambling ring or the French jewelry heist. It was Trump building a new ballroom at the White House. Crazy. And I know it might not seem like a big deal to you because, let's face it, plenty of presidents have renovated the White House. All of them will use this new ballroom in the future, but it's still a very sensitive topic for Democrats because the East Wing of the White House is 123 years old, which is the same age as the No Kings protesters from last weekend. I guess. So silly. So silly. But did you see those rallies? Like, I actually stopped to listen because half of those people looked like they were alive the last time we had a king, you know? But just check out the construction so we can see it. Here's the Trump construction going on at the White House. So yeah, stuff like that. There you go. That is the last time they let Trump watch Wreck-It Ralph with the grandkids. That was it. They're like, no more. But what's so funny about the renovation is the media is acting like Trump just whipped out a wrecking ball and he's leaving it that way. Like, watch their take. Watch this.
And it's hard to believe that any president could destroy the White House and take a wrecking ball to an existing structure so historic.
It does, to me, when I look at it quickly, look like a Kim Jong-un propaganda video, right, of, you know, when he does the nukes on Washington or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
There's something disturbing about it.
This unprecedented moment is an apt metaphor. Trump's demolishing the White House as he also demolishes our country's constitutional norms and rule of law.
A perfect metaphor for how President Trump is trying to just bulldoze his political foes.
I tell you what I don't care about. I don't care about that damn ballroom.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that.
Oh, girl. Stop right. I'm with you. I haven't seen Whoopi that mad since McDonald's canceled the McRib. That was... I want to speak to a manager. You're like, whoa. Now, if you only watched liberal media outlets this week, you would assume that no president has ever renovated the White House and done something like this. But the truth is, and you probably know this, Teddy Roosevelt built the West Wing. FDR completely renovated the West Wing. Harry Truman in 1952 gutted the entire White House and made them rebuild the whole thing, okay? Which is still better than that time he made them rebuild Hiroshima, okay? But stick with me. Is that too soon? It was 1945. Yeah, if you didn't get that joke, you probably failed history class. Long story short, never buy Harry Truman a round of kamikaze shots at the bar. It pisses him off. But stick with me, because for some reason, every media analyst screaming about the construction at the White House fails to mention that Obama did an even bigger project in 2010 and charged the taxpayers twice as much as Trump's ballroom is going to cost Trump's donors. So take a look at this. Is a CNN from 2010.
Sounds like they're building another wing to the White House, but we appreciate you keeping your focus.
You can't even imagine, TJ. It's going to happen for the next 2 years. All of the banging, the jackhammering, the dust, the confusion, the noise of all places to do construction is happening right here, the front lawn of the White House.
Now, if you look close, you notice a slight change in tone right there, right? And Obama wasn't building a ballroom that every president can use. He was building a basketball court, knowing full well that the only other man who played basketball was Michelle. And stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Don't reward that. That is obviously a joke, but I told it because a million people just sat up on their couch and went, Big Mike, you know? But that did not stop another first lady from weighing in. Check out this tweet from Hillary Clinton. She posts, quote, "It's not his house, it's your house, and he's destroying it." Now, to be fair, We do know the East Wing would still be standing if Hillary were president because nothing ever went down on her. And stupid. As for President Trump, when he wasn't demolishing the East Wing, he was demolishing reporters who said he wasn't being transparent about demolishing the East Wing. Watch this beatdown.
I haven't been transparent?
That's some of your critics feel it should have gone for a
I've
review.
shown this to everybody that would listen. Third-rate reporters didn't see it because they didn't look. You're a third-rate reporter, always have been.
I love watching Trump press conferences because every time a reporter asks him like a really snide question, the guy goes in so excited but then realizes halfway through it's not going to end good, you know? It's like when your dog sprints into the car and then realizes you might be going to the vet, you know? The other day I saw a reporter talking and he just stopped and gave Trump paw. He was just like, you know. But in this case, the reporter deserved it because you can't lecture Trump about transparency knowing the guy does 2-hour press conferences every day, and the last guy didn't do any, like ever. Like, the Biden administration thought transparent was a man who has a baby. So silly. But if it makes the guy he called a third-rate reporter feel better, he wasn't the only one who got hit with a fastball this week. Watch Trump talking about Democrats.
I mean, I looked at Crockett, Jasmine Crockett. She's a very low IQ person. AOC is, I watched her the other day. It's like, you got to be kidding. This is not going to make our country great. And Chuck Schumer is, he's gonzo.
Chuck Schumer is gonzo. Amazing, but it's not normal. You never heard Millard Fillmore be like, Zachary Taylor's a low IQ moron, you know? I'd rather have Zach from Saved by the Bell. Am I right, you guys? Interesting fun fact, Millard Fillmore and Zachary Taylor were the last two politicians in the Whig Party before this person came along. That's obviously a joke, but always nice to see Al Sharpton. Of course, President Trump did make major history today, this week anyway, as our own Dana Perino announced that Trump is now on pace to break the record for the most deportations in 1 year. Wow, take it away, DP.
Deportation numbers hitting record highs since President Trump's return to office. His administration booting more than 515,000 illegal migrants so far. 1.6 million illegals have left the country on their own, with immigration agents arresting 485,000. DHS saying that Trump is set to shatter the U.S. deportation record by the end of 2025.
So, yep, well, there you go, I guess, yeah, yep. Turns out Amazon is not the only one who offers free returns. That one got me. This actually reminds me of a street joke that I once told Dana Perino's husband, Peter, a few months back. Do you want to hear an old school street joke? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so check it out. So a guy walks into a bookstore in San Francisco, pretty liberal town. He goes up to the clerk and he goes, hey, do you have that new book about Donald Trump's deportation strategy? And the clerk's furious. He goes, you know what? Get the out of here. Don't ever come back. And the guy goes, exactly. Do you have it in paperback? Stupid. Of course, not all the news revolved around ICE agents and political controversies this week. One feel-good story. Out in Oregon, they had their annual pumpkin regatta where they race in floating pumpkins. Take a look. Now listen, silly, but anytime you see the people of Portland spending their day inside anything besides a tent, you gotta call it out. And apparently, I was not the only one who watched this race because the White House just released this video of the finish. Folks, we got a hot show tonight. Sandra Smith, Tom Shalhoub, Ricky Cobb, and Justine Brooke Murray are getting ready to do the damn thing. Don't go anywhere.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.